And now forever, Mike is going to be finding the worst pictures of this dude.
Yeah.
He looks like a gnome in that one.
Yeah, I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm
He looks like a gnome in this one.
I'm looking.
No, if you look up like the video skits he does, he plays like this just super awkward like anime dude like in his skits that he does, and it's just hilarious. Yeah,
like this.
Yeah, that's like his face he makes at the end of a lot of his like sentences and stuff. He's like, yeah, so we're talking about this, and I don't know.
Bacon is my podcast. Bacon. Bacon is my bacon. Bacon is my podcast. Bacon. Bacon is my
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
We
This is a totally different day.
a totally different day.
No way
Different hour.
is this a day where we've done 3 interviews and hung out with so many people and eaten some things. No way is it the same day.
Well, I beg to differ.
Behind the curtain, folks. Peeking behind the curtain is you. That's what's happening right now.
Yes.
That's what's happening. I'm letting it
Yes.
happen. I'm peeling back the veil. That's the sound
That
of a
being
veil.
said, welcome to Bacon is My Podcast.
Yeah,
I
thank
am
you for
Mike.
being
He is Jim. And we are going to talk to a band from Texas,
Yeah.
the Houston area, named Whether I.
Cool conversation with them. Some songwriting stuff. Some recording studio type stuff.
Yeah,
They
songwriting
really,
stuff.
They really tend to open up though when we got into like the video games and the and the comics and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
stick around to the end.
So that's fun. too.
That's like a lot of fun, more of the fun nooks and crannies stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, like really cool insight into what I like about them is we're so used to talking to the bands that are like, we're a band. We're like 4 dudes that get into a room and we write music together and this and that. And they're very much they're a studio band. They're a studio band first, and they're like, if we play shows, we play shows, and that's cool. That's an option that I mean, man, that appeals to me a lot.
Well, it's cool. There's a lot of similarities to what this came from.
Right.
This podcast came from.
Yeah.
From the Bacon is My Passion stuff. So there was some parallels there.
Two guys writing and writing together and saying, hey, like I wrote some stuff for him, he wrote some stuff for us, and it's a really cool interview with 2 singers from a cool band.
Yeah, definitely a cool band. A lot of cool styles in their genre, but they mix a lot of things, and they're fans of a lot of things. So
yeah,
first of all, go check them out on Apple, Spotify, whatever you listen on. Check them out, Whether I, and definitely check out the interview, which is coming right now. But quickly, a special thanks to Bill's Wild Soda, drinkwildbills.com. You can go there, put in the promo code BACON for 10% off of delicious sodas, which
delicious sodas
highlighting on here. Not the sodas that we did on the Patreon for tasting. Those are a whole different thing, so don't think they're the same thing. Go on there if you want to see us almost vomit. Go to Wild Bills if you want to taste something delicious.
Yes.
And get 10% off with the promo code BACON.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, go to sportslegacysups.com. Get yourself, get your brain a little sharper. Get your sleep a little bit better. Get your workout a little bit harder. Use promo code BACONPOD, and you can save 10% off.
10% off. And finally, last but totally not least, our friends over at Poddex. They were the first
Travis
company.
is the man.
First company to give us some bacon love.
Yes.
And so we will continuously push them. We use them at every show. You guys know. You guys love it. You love the Poddex question. So go there, grab yourself a deck, grab yourself a T-shirt. Just support them. And by supporting them, you can use the promo code bacon, get 10% off, and it also supports us. So we thank you very much for that. And for all of you on our Patreon who support us there, thank you guys so very, 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 very much. A special shout out to all of you. If you're interested in our Patreon, where we have ad-free episodes, tasting episodes, cooking episodes, all that extra content. Extended episodes, yeah. Jump on patreon.com/baconismypodcast. Thank you guys so much. And the interview with Whether I starts
right
about...
Oh, wait.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. Now. All right, Jim Z. You think grilling season is over?
Almost, right?
No. Grilling season is never over because of a new sponsor of ours.
Ooh, what is it?
GrillYourAssOff.com.
I love the name already.
Yeah. It's a veteran-owned company that sells spices, barbecue sauces, cool swag, even cookbooks.
Oh, you know what? You sent me a link to that. I checked it out. That was awesome. They had some cool recipes right on their site. That was pretty awesome.
Yes, sir. And that's for free. But now that they're a sponsor, they've decided that if you use the promo code BACON, you get 10% off your order.
Dude, that's awesome. I'm ready. I'm definitely ordering some spices. They had a couple that looked really killer.
Yeah, and it's really, there's so many different selections that there's really a spice for everybody. The guys that are like heat heads, and even the people that just want something subtle, delicious, sweet, whatever it is. They've got something for everybody.
Awesome. Did we order any? Did we have any coming?
We've got some coming.
Nice.
And we're going to do some tasting episodes over on the Patreon.
Awesome. So
with
stick
a little
around.
Bit of grill your ass off stuff.
Stick around, everyone, because once we get those in, we're going to taste them. We're going to go through them, and then we're going to let you know what we think, and maybe give you some choices that we would kind of go for.
So once again, head over to grillyourassoff.com. Use that promo code BACON and get 10% off.
Sweet.
This is Sam and Kristen from Conquer Divide, and you're consuming Bacon is My Podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome. Today, we have two guests.
Two guests?
From one band.
I love when we have two guests.
I like when we have two guests. It's nice because, so we have a lot of like singular band members.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to collect them all.
Yeah,
but this is 2 in 1 shot. It's convenient.
Yeah, it's almost the full set.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get into that. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Josh and Kaleb from Whether I. What's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
Just hanging out, having a good time.
Yeah.
Cool.
Your enthusiasm is killing me right now.
Sorry, bro, dude. I'm amazing. Working like an hour. I just woke up.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Kaleb, you're a trooper for coming in. He works nights, folks, and he's coming in anyway. His sleep schedule is crazy. I bartend, so I definitely know some of what you go through.
Oh, yeah,
my
like 3 or so.
My schedule's a total dick, also. So it's how it goes. How you guys feeling today?
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, I'm not feeling too
Very
bad,
cool.
actually.
So you guys you're calling from you're in here from Texas, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
I am from like Dickinson, League City, South Houston, basically. Like people who aren't from here just say Houston. That's where I'm from.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm about an hour south of Houston. It's a town called Lake Jackson, but I usually just tell people Houston too because it's like a well-known town.
Yeah, well, being in bands, like we always tell people, yeah, just from New York, and people just assume the city.
Right.
Because
yeah.
if you say Long Island, New York, they're like, what?
What is that?
What is that?
Yeah,
or the
exactly.
people that do know, they're like, oh, Long Island,
Right.
New
They're
York.
like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
get it. I get like the proximity thing. It's definitely important to.
I do say Amityville a lot though, because I'm in Amityville. My band rehearses in Amityville, so
Oh, there you
people
go.
know that one. So
Yeah, there you
oh,
go.
Amityville,
That's
and they're like,
memorable.
Oh, the
"Ooh."
horror house.
Oh, is
Okay,
it spooky?
Yeah.
You're like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
No,
People
no,
just
it's
ask me.
just-
I'm just like, yeah, I'm from NASA. I live at the space station, and that's just.
Right.
I live there. And they call me and they say, NASA, we have a problem.
So what people may not know about you guys? So you guys had some really successful songs back in
like 2014 -ish.
2014 or
Yeah.
so. You know, you had a song with Johnny Craig,
Mhm.
formerly from Slaves and Amorosa, all that stuff. And then you guys broke up,
Mhm.
and now the two of you decided to get back together in this year, right?
Well, it's been last year, I guess, at the
Okay.
kind of like October-ish is when we went back into the studio, I think, of last year. And I mean, we've kept in contact over the years and hung out and stuff like that. We just hadn't really actively putting anything out yet. I mean, Caleb's done some stuff with a couple other projects, and I did some solo stuff here and there, just mostly to keep myself busy and keep the itch at bay. But this is the first time we're getting back together as of like October of last year, and then we've gone back a few times since then to kind of like iron the tracks out and get everything going.
Now, was it like, was it a plan? Was it like you talked about it and you're like, hey, let's go and start doing Weather Eye stuff again? Or was it like you guys wrote some stuff together or hung out and it was like, hey, this is a cool thing. This is a cool thing. And it just kind of worked its way in.
I'll be honest, we talked about it for the last couple of years. Like, it's been like I'll hit Caleb up and I'll be like, yo, we should do some Weather Eye shit, and he's like, yeah, I'm down, and then we just don't talk for like a couple months, and then we did that off and on for a while, like most like adult friendships are.
Right,
and then finally I was just like, I hit him up one day, I was like, hey, yo, I booked studio time, show up or else you're fucked. And that was pretty much it. And then from there, we kind of like talked about everything and agreed to do a couple more tracks. And then we actually blended in some tracks from another project he was already working on that just kind of made sense because it was all with the same producer and stuff. And Robbie is the same guy who produced our old albums and stuff and co-wrote with us. And so it kind of keeps that familiar tone and the same like workflow when we're writing. It's familiar because it's the same kind of setup that we had last time when we were still, like active and stuff. Because even whenever we had a full band, there were maybe like 3 or 4 of us actually contributing to the writing process.
Right.
Yeah. So how, what people may not realize is that the process now. You guys are the band, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah. And as opposed to like 5 or 6 guys getting into a room and writing and whatever. That's something that I kind of got him into that recently, where it was just like we were writing and he's like, all right, cool, so what are we going to do with this? I was like, I don't know, let's just record it, let's just do it. And it's awesome in a lot of ways. I really like bouncing ideas off of other people, but I also like that like contained factor where you're just like, okay, I don't have somebody's like, I got to get my shit in. It's like,
exactly.
No, it's more people for the song and stuff. Is that how you find this second coming of Weather Eye?
That's generally how it's always been between Josh and I. Like, one of us comes to the other one with an idea, and we usually just have a really good, easy time bouncing more lyrics off of each other, more melodies. It's just, sometimes we write each other's stuff.
Yeah, it ends up working that way a lot. And even back, like I said, when we did the first EP and the album, it was really just me, Caleb, and our guitarist Jordan sitting in the room with Robbie, and just the 4 of us together just kind of said, okay, y'all work on the instruments, and we threw in ideas here and there. And then after we kind of got everything put together and the instrumentation was pretty much done, we went back in and we just sat down and bounced melodies and lyrics and stuff off of each other until it came out. And anybody was welcome to come sit in the room. Like, we had other performing musicians with us at the time and everything. And if they wanted to contribute, they definitely could. But it was nice to have kind of that consolidation of ideas to where you didn't have too many people to bounce off of. Because sometimes you end up just coming out with something better whenever you do want an alternate opinion, so that you don't just like pigeonhole into something that's not great.
Right.
Like, you want someone to be able to tell you, hey, that's kind of whatever, or maybe like, let's not do that. Because I had some ideas back in the day. I was listening to a lot of Attila, and they were like, yeah, no, you don't need to sound like Franz on this album. I was like, okay, fine. Like, and that's
Right.
If it had been up to me, I would have been like rap screaming and stuff too. So it's good to have kind of that alternate opinion to tell you what not to do, but not so many opinions that you end up with a jumbled mess of just like experimental garbage, I guess.
Well, it's cool that you're able to do it with like you said, a consolidated crew, because your music does have a lot of different there's a lot of different vibes going on in there. There's definitely like I heard some hip hop influence. I heard pop influence. I heard, metal influence. There's some there's definitely some like punk in there. There's a lot of things that are happening, and you guys kind of throw them in each song and weave them in and out, which is pretty cool when it's a smaller group of people doing the writing.
Yeah.
Are you guys like both into all those things, or is someone bringing more of one style in than the other, and how do you balance that out?
I think now we're both into basically everything. Good music is good music. Doesn't matter what
Yeah.
genre it is. Doesn't matter anything like that. But
Yeah.
back in the day, we might have all had like I was a little more pop, Josh was a little more metal. Like
Mm-hmm.
A little bit all that.
our producer kind of puts us on new music all the time. Like even as like just friends and stuff. Like he's like, "Hey, this new album though," and we start listening to new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll be honest, when we were hitting studio and we started with like moving on and stuff, we were listening to a lot of like, the metal stuff that we normally do, but then we were hitting a lot of like Roddy Ricch and a lot of St. John. Like I was jamming the St. John album like constantly whenever we were sitting in there. So I'm like pulling some ideas for melodies from that stuff and a little bit of the ideas from the hip hop side, as well as listening to stuff like Wage War and I love bands like Polyphia and Architects, obviously, and things like that. So just pulling from all these different influences to kind of create something that sits in the middle. And when you have so many artists now coming out, like the MGKs that love them or hate them, they're blending genres and they're bringing back around things that have kind of left the spotlight for the major people. And now you have all your rap artists that are kind of pulling in those pop punk vibes and things like that, and it's really opening people's eyes to different types of music. Whereas normally they'd be like, "No, I just need to listen to the trap music." Like, I don't want to listen to that emo stuff. And now everybody is listening to All Time Low again because of TikTok and MGK.
Yeah,
which is awesome because, like you said, like I have the same idea of like if it's good music, it's good music. I like anything that makes noise. I can find something I like in pretty much anything that makes noise. You know what I mean? And people do tend to like fall into those habits of like only listening to their one thing and not really kind of veering too far out of it. And it's cool when something that they like already or somebody that they like already that has elements of the music that they're super into brings in all these other elements and they start to like, oh, I move different to this.
Yeah.
Kind of like it.
Yeah.
I'm into this. This is nice.
I mean, the first draft of the vocals for Moving On were basically a country song. And Robbie was just like,
okay.
All right, you boys need to go back to the drawing board because you guys just sound too country in this. And it's supposed to be like a rock metal song.
It wasn't
like,
country. It was just how it turned out.
It was just between the lyrics and the grooves and stuff like that. It got you that kind of like
it's got a bounce to it.
Yeah,
it's got a bounce to it. I could see it falling there.
So, Texas boys, you got to have a little bit of that,
right?
Oh yeah, for sure. So we went back to the drawing board and came out with something new.
Yeah, I really like the new stuff. You got a new single coming out soon. Which I'm pretty stoked for.
Will it be out by the time?
By the time this comes out,
airs?
yes, it will.
So you have
be
a new
out.
single out now.
Yes,
yeah, there you go.
Peek behind the curtain, and that single is great.
Exactly.
It's doing really well too. It's amazing how well it's doing. Everybody better check it out now so you don't miss out.
Yes. I mean, so you had Moving On come out. You have a new single coming out. How many songs you got in the works? You going to work toward a record, or I mean, everybody seems to be falling into that. Let's just release singles kind of thing. What are you guys working toward?
We've got 5 songs that we've got like completed. We're just waiting on like a couple masters. Mm-hmm. So I think we're just gonna release a few singles as like an EP, and if it comes to more, it comes to more. But
yeah,
our plan right now is pretty basic.
Yeah, I think kind of our goal starting out is we went in, we recorded the first song, like I said, back in October, so it's been a good while. And then we kind of talked about it, and we didn't want to just release one song and then leave everybody hanging. So we decided to wait and go back into the studio again, record a couple more songs. And then we took the other songs that had already been almost completed and just kind of added a little bit more work to them, and ended up, like you said, with those 5 songs total, including Moving On. So as of right now, our plan is just to kind of keep releasing them as singles as we get the masters back and stuff like that and are ready to put them out. And then just depending on how people react and everything like that, if we're able to, we'll get back in and do some more recording, hopefully before we finish releasing everything. And that way we can just kind of keep music coming out. And I'd love to do an album, but I think right now, just with the way that people are consuming things, singles are just kind of the way to go, because you end up, by the time someone's starting to forget about you, you put out something new for them to consume, and it just kind of keeps them interesting. And it also keeps you from really like putting fillers on your album, because I know you always end up with like 5 or 6 good songs, then you're like, shit, I got to hit like 9 or 10. So then you just start like writing whatever you can, and you're just not happy with it at the end of the day. So I'd rather put, all of my work into really, really great singles and be able to put those out to where like they're fantastic and people love them. And I think we also are hitting a lot of bases with what we've recorded so far too, because we
a lot of genres.
Yeah, I would say none of these singles sound like the other singles. They're all very different, and some people may not like that, some people may like it, but I think it crosses between, like we hit some kind of medium rock notes like we did with Moving On. It's got a little bit of that metal feel, but it's more on kind of the rock side, and I'm singing in that one instead of really screaming and stuff. And then we go into some more classic metalcore stuff. We do some kind of like post-hardcore Under Oathy type stuff, and then we jump back into some almost straight pop stuff and some rock ballad stuff. So it's like, we hit the whole round with all the stuff that we listen to and kind of bring it all out in these different singles too.
Well, I love that approach. He actually started doing that just before the pandemic hit, and
timing was perfect.
And he went into the studio and I guess you guys are kind of doing the same approach here, where it's like, let's just approach this song as a record, and let's just do what needs to be done for this song, and let's decide the route it's going to go, and not have to shove, what is it, 5, 6, 7, 10 songs, whatever it is.
You get those songs that maybe it's like you said, you've got singles coming out that are very different from each other. And if you were trying to put them all on the same record, you might have to figure out a way to make them fit a little better. And you might have to leave some ideas out or blend some ideas over. Or if you're looking at things like a collective, whereas doing it as singles, at least I found that I was able to kind of go, well, this kind of has this feel, so let me lean all the way into it and really kind of like throw everything at it that way and see what that does. And then also gave me an opportunity, and you let me know if it's doing the same for you, where when I'm deciding when to release certain ones, I'm kind of like, okay, what time of year is this going to be coming out? And what do I feel like, which song, like what's a dead of winter song? And then what's the summer song? And like that kind of feel too, where you kind of get to be somewhat topical. As well,
Well, and that's listening to all of it. Moving On, to me, it sounds like something you jam on a road trip. Like that's the vibe I get whenever I listen to the song. So that was like, that had to be our summer, song that we put out. And then as we're getting into kind of fall and stuff like that, the next single that we're releasing, or will be released by the time this is out, is Goodbye, which is a very emotional and personal song, definitely. And so it's a little on the heavier side, and it's got more of kind of the classic Whether I Feel, but it's one that hits a lot more, right at home with me. So it's I think both of us, in the way that we put our vocals out there and the way that we put it all in, it's a song that you can really feel, which I think is appropriate kind of going into that fall time and and everything that's going there too. So I can kind of see what you're saying there too. It all kind of blends together with the time of year, as well as just kind of the general emotions that you're feeling, as well as like, I want to keep the variety up too, because maybe we got a lot of positive feedback on Moving On, and then we had a lot of people that were like, we like this, but we want some heavy again. So we didn't want to put out like a summer anthem and then put out like a pop song right after that. You want to give the fans what they like too. So we got to give them a little bit of that, a little bit of the heavy and a little bit of the just kind of raw emotional stuff with that, and then see where we go from there.
It's cool. You can gauge it that way too. Like you can get feedback and you can immediately respond to it and go, okay, let's pivot and let's put this out and let's put that out. Like I think it's just, it makes a lot of sense, and like you said before too, it's and we've had this conversation a lot about like you put out a record and like you spend a year recording a record and then you put it out and then you spend a year writing the next record, but that record in a month is old.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and you're trying to figure out how to keep it relevant for a year instead of in this being able to release singles and being like everything's relevant because everything's like you can change things up as you go. You can pivot, you can make different decisions, you can change the look of whatever promotional stuff you're doing for it. You can listen to fans, you can do all that kind of stuff, which I think it makes it a little bit more artistic and fun too.
Yeah, absolutely. You know? And with the idea of, you know, like because of the pandemic, obviously, nobody was touring for all of that time too, right. And album cycles were non-existent because the whole idea is you put out your album, you tour on it for 6 or 8 months while you come up with ideas for the next album, and you promote the crap out of the first album, and then you know, by the time you're through a couple of months of that, you're already tired of that album because the new stuff you've written you're so much more excited about and stuff. So it's without the whole full album cycle idea in motion, it honestly doesn't really make sense to do albums, and that's why you get you know, artists like Halsey and Kanye and stuff doing more of the visual movie album approach, or even MGK did it as well, and they were able to create something like that to kind of still add the performance element to their stuff, and just not everybody has the capability to do something on that scale.
Trippie Redd's new album, actually, they have a deluxe version of it where they did the entire each music video is an animated music video as well as they have live music videos. And it's like anything from like anime to cartoon references, like Dragon Ball Z, like they're fighting Frieza and stuff like that. Like it's a very cool watch, and it's fun to listen to too. Yeah.
And I'll be honest, like whenever I first heard like MGK's new stuff, I really didn't like it, and then I watched the his like Downfalls High video that he put out. It was an hour long. And watching that and putting it all together and just kind of the way that it was all there, it made me like the stuff. And I think it was just kind of the experience that he put behind it. And, you know, I think a lot of people look for that the same way that, you know, like Beyonce did Lemonade and stuff like that. Those album experiences get a lot of people in there. But if you're not able to do that full, like multi-million-dollar album experience, you know, a new album comes out and you're like, okay, this is kind of cool. Here's 3 songs I like off of it. And then you move on with your day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then song 7, which is a great song,
gets overlooked.
It never gets a chance to shine.
Yeah,
exactly.
Fucking song 7. Always song 7.
Song 7 is pretty good usually.
Yeah. I mean, look at Bring Me the Horizon. They released all of their album as singles except for like 3, and then released the album like a year and a half later, and it did great. And that way you got to enjoy each single individually because it was spaced out. And so I know every song on that album. So you know, like, and it wouldn't have been that way if they had just released the album. I would have known like 4 songs and that's it.
Yeah. It's just like you said, music is just very different nowadays. The way it's consumed, the way people have an attention span for it. It's, you know, like you said, it's not really the immersive experience that it used to be.
Yeah.
So
don't go away. We'll be back right after these messages.
On your fitness journey, extraordinary results require extraordinary action. Your training and quality of nutrition is definitely key, but adding a well-developed nutritional supplement protocol will push your results to the next level. And that's where Legacy Sports Nutrition comes in. Legacy Sports Nutrition believes that everything you want to achieve in life can be aided by optimizing human performance. All of their formulas have been professionally developed for both men and women and are made to the highest quality standards. Legacy Sports Nutrition is a brand founded and operated by athletes who have been performing at world-class levels for decades. And when I say athletes who perform at world-class levels, I truly mean it. This is NWA World Heavyweight Champion Nick Aldis's company, so you know these items are absolutely championship quality. Go to LegacySups.com and use the promo code BACONPOD, and you'll receive 10% off your order. Once again, that's LegacySups.com. Use the promo code BACONPOD for 10% off your order. Set your goals, push your limits, and leave your legacy.
No pressure. And
Ready, go!
Oh no! Ready? Yeah. 3, 2,
7.
Wait, you're supposed to start when?
Yeah,
point.
no, it's on the.
I don't say.
It's
one.
on. He doesn't say one.
So ready?
That's what they do in the
3,
biz.
2, 1.
Hey, I'm Dave Caggiano. I'm a record producer, singer, songwriter, engineer, all that fun stuff. Betamax Studios. I produced both these guys in the past. If you want to kind of find me, great. Let's do this again. I'm so fucked up. Try one more time. I got all off track.
Hey,
Okay.
Dick, this one's about us.
I know it's about you guys. Wait, what's the tagline?
You've been consuming bacon.
You've
is
been
my
consuming
podcast.
bacon.
You've been consuming bacon is my podcast. 3, 2.
Hey, man, I'm Dave Caggiano, record producer, songwriter, mix engineer. Oh, my God. I'm looking at Wait, one more time.
You know what? it did that like focus thing. I did that
love
focus
it.
thing. I did that focus thing. Okay.
I can't even deal. Holy shit. All right.
Let's do another take.
One more
Let's do another
time.
Makes it
One
so
more
good.
time.
Make sure you a little more feeling like you
Yeah.
actually listen.
Yeah, man. Like take 4.
Like you're
Wait,
really,
bacon is my podcast.
Yeah.
and you're
You've been consuming.
You've been consuming.
Bacon is my podcast.
Well, now I'm all fucked up.
We're only going to take 4 takes of this, man. That's how we know we're going to get it.
Right. When are we ready? We ready?
Are you ready?
We good? We good? Everything's good?
You ready?
Are you
We're
good?
ready.
Jimmy, you ready?
I'm good.
Okay, yeah, I'm
All
good.
right. Yeah.
Hey, I'm Dave Caggiano, record producer, songwriter, mix engineer, also of Bean Pies, Bagels, and Cannolis. You've been consuming Bacon is my podcast with these two guys, Jimmy Garavac and Mike Wayman.
He's so good.
Did it. One take.
One take, Jake.
That's a good one.
That's perfect.
That's perfect,
It's
right?
perfect.
Oh, I can't wait to edit. So, question: now that you guys are a studio band and bands are kind of getting lifted and may not be lifted anymore, you guys thinking about you got the live itch at all, or are you gonna?
You know, we've talked about it a little bit here and there. I think if the right group came together to be able to maybe play something local, I'd look at doing it, and I wouldn't mind having a band to do videos with too. Like, it'd be nice to be able to put on a full performance and everything, because I'd love to get that full like music video feel out again. Most of the old members of the bands are not interested in coming back because they're just busy with their lives and stuff like that. And one of our guitarists that used to tour with us all the time is still a good friend of mine, and he just had a baby a little while back, and he's just nestled into doing what he's doing now. So I don't blame him at all. And
Yeah.
I'm getting to the point now where I've got more free time to where I could look at maybe doing live shows and stuff again. But I'm also to the point where I'm old enough that I don't want to ride around the country in a crappy van and be miserable and sweaty either. So I think if like the right opportunity came along, I'd be into it. But I'm not like jumping at trying to do it right now. It's more just I really felt like there was a lot more we could give to the people who used to listen to us that we didn't get to for various reasons, and that was kind of why I wanted to come back and do it and just see how people reacted and stuff like that. And if it continues to kind of go on the same trajectory, if people really call for it, I'm open to the idea in the future for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the pandemic kind of opened that that door for a lot of people, and like he always says, he's like, you got to grow gills, you got to adapt, you got to figure it out. So because of that, I feel like bands like yourself and some of my stuff that I've been doing, it's kind of like, all right, well, you know what, you may be missing this person or that person, but like just adapt, figure it out. I mean, you can't play live shows anyway, so
Yeah, man.
what's the difference? Just make the music,
It's Waterworld.
put it out.
It's Waterworld. Grow gills.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Got to adapt and overcome. And I mean, even toward our last couple of touring cycles before we split up, we had lost our main guitarist. So we had to actually backtrack a lot of lead guitar just to tour because we didn't have anybody to play it. And it was either that or cancel the tour. So we just kind of backtracked it. Nobody really complained because we were still just putting on as much energy as we could, and putting on a good show and stuff like that. And I've seen bands perform with a drummer and a singer, and then everything's backtracked, and it was a little goofy looking, but but you do it, and as long as you're out there, you're energetic and you're performing, and you really put your heart into it, people are gonna react well to it. I think that's really what they're there to see, is you put on a good show and just put all your all in.
If you're having fun, then they're more likely to have fun too.
Absolutely,
sure.
yeah.
So
nothing is as intoxicating as other people's fun.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Absolutely. You're like, I want to have.
Yeah,
I want to have their fun.
So what are you guys doing in the studio in terms of who's playing what? Are you guys playing yourselves? Is your producer playing? What are you doing with the instruments?
So as of right now, with everything we've done, we actually our producer Robbie, and then our co-producer Richie, who's actually the drummer for Fire from the Gods. He did a lot of the guitar work and putting it together and everything, and basically constructed our instrumentals. With Moving On and a couple of the other songs, we sat in the studio and just kind of riffed it out together and figured it out. And then we actually are working with the drummer Scott, who has kind of come in, and he puts his inputs on really filling out the drums and stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll throw little ideas and stuff in there. A lot of it is we talk about structure and stuff, and the general chord progressions and stuff we want to do, and keys that we want to be in and stuff, and then put the instrumental together. And because they're just familiar with doing it, Richie and Robbie actually usually do most of the actual recording on the instruments, just because it makes sense. They're studio musicians, so they put that together. And then when we go in to do like the vocals and stuff like that, we just kind of, like I said, hash it out with each other and write all the melodies and everything, and go in and record it. And then if there's anything we're missing at the end of the day, we went back in for another session and kind of added in new harmonies and background vocals and that type of thing. So it's been kind of a group effort between it, but we definitely did do some co-writing with them and let them kind of handle the actual recording of the instruments, because I do play guitar and bass and a little bit of drums as well, but it just makes sense for someone who's actively doing it for their profession to actually do the recording, so that I don't have to sit there and warm up and be like, oh, sorry, I missed that again.
Right.
Going back to
take 5.
What Josh was saying earlier, a couple of the songs that I had worked in from the other project, that was me and Scott as well. Those are some of our other songs that we were kind of messing around with from maybe something else, but it just sounded right for the direction we were going in. Got the okay from Josh, mixed in his goodies with our goodies, and came out with some pretty awesome bops.
Yeah,
crossing the streams, man. That's a good word.
Right.
So do you guys I know for me there's certain things that I like doing in the studio, and there's certain days that I look forward to and days that I'm just kind of like, ugh. What's your favorite? For me, it's I play guitar and I sing, so I love the overdub day, and I love backup vocals day. Those are the fun ones for me, because lead vocals, I'm always in my head about it, or I'm really trying to capture something, and I'm putting myself through hell to get the right thing out. So it's then it's oh, I'm gonna go put ABBA harmonies all over the end of this. So for me, it's those days. What do you guys look forward to in the studio? Is the whole process, or are there specifics?
I love working with our producer. Robbie is such a fun guy, and he always makes sure to bring out the best in everybody he's working with. I've worked with producers. I've worked with some really good producers, and some people just go about it in a way where they're they expect nothing but the best, and if it's not the best, then they shit all over you.
Right.
He's a hype man. There's even times on some of the newer tracks, even on side projects I have, where he'll be like, "Let's go!" Whenever we do a good take, and he keeps "Let's go" in the song.
Oh, nice.
He's like, it's perfect. It fits there, bros.
That's great.
Yeah. No, it's always fun doing that too, and I'm kind of the same way. I love the screaming days, because those are the easiest for me. I'm just used to it. It's my comfort zone. And like I said, I did some singing on this album too, and that was a little bit more of a different situation for me, because it is easy to get in your head about that as well. Especially going on the same track as someone like Kaleb, who has been one of the good singers, I think, in the scene since back in the day. Before we were in a band together, I used to be like, damn, dude, I wish I could sound like this dude. And then, you know, I got recruited him later. So like singing next to that is kind of intimidating as like a lower voice guy. But like on the screaming days and like he was saying with like the hype stuff and like that, like I'd go in and I'd hit a track and we'd get done with the line. I look around, they'd be like, oh shit, look at me, fucking you knocked it out. Like they're all excited and shit. It just makes you feel good that you like, you know, just you hit it hard and people are like, holy shit, that sounds good.
It's probably hard to choose because like there's sometimes where like, you know, like he vocally hypes you up and gets you crunk, but there was something that Josh did on actually the new song that's about to come out that he hit this one line and it was so epic that like me, Robbie, Richie, Scott, we were like stuck in silence. Like he finished the line and everyone's just sitting there quiet and he's like, was that good?
Like nobody's saying anything.
Yeah, that's either awful or great. You're like,
we were
so.
I just turned around and I was like, "It's nanotech. Do you like it?"
It's nanotech.
I really like. I know what you mean about like people that just shit all over you when you're done. Because I dealt with a producer that literally I was in the booth, I'm singing my heart out, and I look up. And he's like in the control room, just going.
For those of you listening,
and just walks out,
throwing his arms up in disgust.
And he just walks out, and I'm like, "Fuck! What did I do? What did I do?" So yeah, I get it. I love like we actually a couple episodes ago we had a guy that produced both of us, Dave Caggiano, and he just like you said.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Quintessential hype man.
Yeah, when you have someone like that, it's so fun, man.
Yeah, makes the studio experience way easier to deal with.
And I mean, he'll still tell you whenever you sound terrible or something like that, or he'll take it and he'll make like a diss track out of it, like take one of your bad tapes and just turn it into like a rap album. But like he keeps you hyped up. But I mean, I remember even back in the day, like we'd hit a note and be like, you know, that was pretty good, but if you make it twice as good, it might be a piece of shit. Like, you know,
like less.
See, I'll take criticism like that. That's the best way to give it. That's so much better than like
lines.
That's so much better than like, could you suck a little bit less?
Yeah,
turn the suck knob down just a little bit. I dealt with a producer who every time he didn't like something, he would always go, so I didn't hate it. And it was literally what he said, and he was like, "Oh, it sucked, didn't it?" He's like, "It's not what I'm saying totally, but you could do better."
Like, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That is exactly it.
I know what you're capable of, and you're just not doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I've definitely been there, but then I've been on the flip side. I've worked with producers that are like I put something out in there and I know it just sounded like utter shit, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, we can fix it in post." I'm like, "No, come on."
Yeah, they're just rushing you through.
Yeah, they're just like, "Get the fuck out of here!" Like you hit kind of the tonality we want through. I can just melodyne that to fix it. Like, we'll be good.
Like, come on, man, let me see it again.
Those are like the album.
We're just gonna fly all these choruses from the first one. Like, no,
exactly.
Can you not?
Yeah, the album factories are fun. We my last band, we kind of did a little bit of shopping before we ended up with Dave Caggiano, and same thing. You go to these places and they're like, yeah, totally. You could do 6 songs in 2 days. What?
Can we?
Excuse me? No, thanks.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we got to pay some bills.
Okay.
Yeah.
That being said, we are sponsored by a company called Poddex, and what Poddex is they're like icebreakers for the podcasters or the wannabe podcasters who don't have verbal diarrhea like we do.
Okay. Right. So what they do is they have these. It's like a deck of cards, and in each deck of cards are a number of questions, and those questions have different topics. We have like the one I'm holding is the episode deck for people that trying to figure out episode topics. We also have different questions, like Mike said, different icebreakers, just conversation starters, things like that. And it's a really cool company. If you go to poddex.com, they have the cards. They have some cool merch. They got swag, and they're a great company. Like we get emails from the owner of the company. He's just like a cool dude.
Yeah.
And if you want to check it out, it's not even just podcasts. I mean, it's kind of similar in a way to like a Cards Against Humanity type thing. They're real good, like conversation starters. Yeah, I've brought them to my bar before. I've like just done them with people just for fun. If you want to check them out, you can put in the promo code BACON.
Because everything's better with bacon.
Yeah, you get 10% off. 10% off your entire order. So what we would like to do is we're going to let you guys know what the decks are, and each of you will pick a deck, and then we will pick a random question from that deck for you to answer.
Oh, cool.
All right.
All right, so we have the episode deck. Don't pick that one. We have the interview deck 2, the Would You Rather deck, and What the Heck.
What the heck?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with What the Heck deck.
All right.
So 2 from the What the Heck deck. Very nice. Now these could be. There's no R ratings in these cards. They could go all the way down to G though. So these questions could be like super tame, or they could be kind of
saucy,
odd and saucy. Yeah,
Ooh, saucy.
So we'll hope for a spicy one. We'll see what happens. And
So
you can always make it spicy with your answers too.
Right.
This is true.
All right. So
for those that are watching, you're going to see me move my fingy from one side to the other. You guys, Josh, you tell me first when to stop, and that'll be your question.
When?
We got a when right there, and then Kaleb, I'm going to start on this side. You tell me when. When right there. All right. You got Kaleb's. I got Josh's. All right. So Josh, what's the weirdest thing you've ever seen in someone else's home?
I don't know if y'all get the reference, but upside down pineapples.
Upside down pineapples. Why does that sound familiar to me?
Because it's generally considered a decor to indicate that you're a swinger.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay. And this was did this take you off guard?
A little bit. It was not someone I expected. So it was one of those situations where I was like, maybe this makes a little bit more sense now.
Did you bring it up?
I did not bring it up. I just went on my way.
Yeah. Point of the pineapple. Go on.
Right. Interesting decor.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Well, I hear a lot of people do it in like RV parks and stuff so that they know to migrate to the other RVs.
Right.
You know who you can approach and stuff, right?
You know what? That's smart. That makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. It takes away that awkward, like, hey, I was just wondering if you're a swinger.
Yeah, exactly. Because
don't hit me.
When I was much younger, I did have someone approach me in a very awkward situation in an IHOP once where they were like, my girlfriend and I think you guys are very attractive. And I was like, well, thank you. And I just wasn't getting it at first. And then they kind of just kept insinuating like that we should go hang out separately and get drinks because they don't serve drinks at IHOP. And then I realized where this was going, and I was like, "I'm sorry, I'm not interested in sharing at this time."
That's a very polite. That was a very nice way of you to bring that down. Yeah,
exactly.
That's nice.
All right. Well, since we're in a little saucy mood,
all right,
Kaleb. Can't believe I'm asking him this.
All right.
Oh, no.
Kaleb. Can you do any tricks with your tongue?
Probably, yeah.
It's
probably, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Well, when I was younger, I got into a car accident that I had to get the bottom of my tongue cut out, like a piece of glass got stuck in or something.
Oh, so super long now?
My tongue's like pretty long, yeah. Most people are just like, oh, that's a trick too, but I mean, I can like not roll my tongue, but like, what's it called?
So you got like a Gene Simmons happening too.
Oh, there we go.
All right, yeah,
he's doing all sorts of crazy stuff with his tongue.
Lots of
exactly.
Lots of tongue moves.
Cool. That was awkward.
They call them flippies.
Yeah. It wasn't awkward, buddy. I thought it was great.
That might have been one of the most awkward moments on the show.
I don't think it was that bad.
No, I should have.
I didn't drink enough.
That might have been awkward for you.
Yeah, there you go.
I think we're all fine. We're all fine with it.
You needed an extra shot of confidence.
Yeah, we're all adults here. We all have tongues.
Yeah.
It would have been awkward if I was like, you should ask your mom if I can do tricks myself.
So Kaleb,
He didn't mean that. She listens sometimes.
I would have laughed.
Yeah, I bet you would.
So one of the other things we like to do on the show, obviously we don't stick on one topic the whole time.
Right.
Yep. Part of the whole idea is like, you heard us ask, like everybody asks, what's your bacon, all that kind of thing. Like the thing that makes your life better, the thing that like maybe other people don't know about you. That's like your extra thing. Some people it's, I see the Star Wars behind you, the Star Wars curtain. Now, maybe you're a fan, maybe you're not a fan. It's just the best blackout curtain you found. But like people have those things. They have those things like, man, since I was a kid, I dug this. Since music is my thing. But then there's also this. Do you guys have any of those like little like hidden obsession? Is somebody a cook? Is somebody is somebody rollerblading every day? Is somebody? What do we got going on? Horticulture.
Josh is a
yes.
Josh is a
war never changes.
We're both pretty big nerds when it comes to game. Like a lot of the times, people would come up to us and be like, "Oh man, what'd y'all write this song about?" And we're like, "World of Warcraft."
No, I've been a pretty big Fallout nerd for a long time, so that's kind of my little nerdy obsession.
Sweet helmet.
That is amazing.
I have a bunch. I actually have some paintings and stuff too.
Really? See, this is what we like to find out.
Yeah,
this is fun stuff.
So what's our
I painted this myself.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Things like that.
So I guess we're gamers as well then.
Yeah, we're gamers.
Correct. I mean, I see the headphones, and then we have Fallout paraphernalia.
No, you're sitting at my gaming setup right now.
This is my
so what are we currently playing? What are we currently?
Wait. Caleb's going to show us something.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say this is my biggest obsession that like a lot of my close friends know, but
the Flash.
There we go.
Dude, I'm so psyched for the movie.
Me too. It's only been like 6 years since they announced it.
Right, exactly. But man, I am psyched. I can't wait.
I mean, they're still shooting it, right?
Yeah, they're still shooting.
I feel like
they've
been shooting it for like 3 years.
Yeah,
probably.
Well, it's gonna rewrite the whole DCU that's out right now because they're changing actors.
Thank God.
Yeah, they're changing actors, so there's gonna be like the only way to justify that is have Flash go back and do some time travel shenanigans.
Right, do a whole Flashpoint thing.
I'm all in on that.
At the universe, yeah, me too. I'm so stoked.
Yeah,
but I've been a Flash fan since like Golden Age Flash, like Jay Garrick. My dad got me into him.
Nice. Oh,
wow.
that's great.
Even before he was one of the big heroes that he is now, I was always jamming the Flash.
How did you have you dug the TV show? You a fan
I love
of it?
The TV show, yeah. The last couple seasons kind of dwindled for me, but the first 4 seasons are like phenomenal in my opinion.
Awesome. Yeah, I had the same kind of thing.
You telling me you don't like the Flash lightsabers?
Yeah. Oh, dude. For anyone that's caught up in season 7. As big of a Star Wars fan as I am,
right?
One of the final fights in the show is like the main bad guy calls down this lightning bolt, catches it, whips it down, and it's a lightning saber. And then the other 2 people that are fighting, they're like, "Oh, we could do that," and like it turns into Darth Maul versus Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn. Like,
nice.
They're just like, like they're literally. It's literally you hear the lightsaber sound. Like,
you know that like they were. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually thought about shooting it shot for shot.
Yeah,
like and just recreating it because like.
Well, I feel like in the last couple of years they lost budget or something because their CG has gone like way downhill too.
The
like
CWCG is it's not always.
Well, it was never fantastic, but like when they had King Shark and stuff on the show, it actually looked pretty good. Like it was passable, and now it's like so unbelievably bad. It looks like something I could shoot in my bedroom.
I think it was like the COVID thing. It cut the end of season 5, made season 6 short season. It's even season 7 only has like 19 episodes. So yeah, I was pretty let down by that. But first 4 seasons are great.
Yeah, I thought they were really great
Yeah.
too. I was an Arrow fan as
Yeah.
well.
I'm rewatching that right now.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool show. Like I get into all those. Like me and my girlfriend get into like everything from Arrow and like that whole Arrow verse to like Supernatural. Like those CW shows.
Yeah.
They're
They're
great,
all-
man. They're
Yeah.
great.
They're well filmed. Good
Lucifer. I thought Lucifer was excellent.
acting. You know,
Oh yeah, Lucifer's
all
great.
right.
Yep.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't know that. I'm like, bro, they do a crossover. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Even
yeah.
even a lot of people don't know Constantine is a DC show, and they're making a new movie of that.
Man,
Yeah.
that Constantine series, I was so mad when that got canceled. It was
Everybody
so
was.
good.
I
Like,
know.
it was so good. I'm like, come on.
Did you watch the animated?
I would say
Yeah.
from
Yep, I did see the anime one too.
I would say the animated Constantine movies are still some of my favorite. Like he's definitely like a relikable character.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I actually I got access to HBO Max, so I've been doing a lot of the DC animated stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love the DC animated stuff.
Yeah, DC really killed it with their animation.
Yeah, way better than this crap that they're putting out, except for Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad is hilarious.
I thought
This-
that was
this-
pretty
the new
good.
one.
I thought it was pretty great.
Yeah, the new one was
I'm
good.
ready for the Peacemaker show.
I was
That should be interesting.
I was so like, is John Cena gonna be like good in this? And then he was so great. He was such like he's a scene stealer to begin with, but he was just so funny because he just played it so straight
Yeah.
that I thought it was it was just awesome. It was just,
Like that little exchange between him and Idris Elba when he's like, nobody likes to show off, and he's like,
Right.
unless what they're showing off is badass as fuck. Fuck, that's true.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Commercial break.
All right. So we just played the fair, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw our new sponsor next to us at the fair.
Right.
Right? Any of you that have ever been to festivals, one of the coolest spots to go to is that spot that's selling you sodas where the copper mugs.
Oh, they're the best.
Wild Bills, dude.
Yes. And you don't just have to go to a fair to get their stuff anymore. You can go
Right.
to drinkwildbills.com and they'll send it right to your house.
They sent that ginormous box to us.
Huge box
Yeah.
of stuff, and it made me realize that Wild Bills isn't just soda.
Yeah, I thought it was at first, but man, the like jerky and
Nuts and coffee.
Oh man, snack foods, coffee, everything.
And if you go there now, drinkwildbills.com, use the promo code BACON, of course, and you get 10% off.
Oh, dude, check it out. Stick with us because we're going to be letting you know how that coffee tastes. We're going to be doing some tasting episodes on literally everything in the box.
Yes.
So stick with us. But, dude, you've had it. You've been at fairs. I've bought it. I bought that mug. It's awesome. I love it.
And now, again, we're heading into the winter months. It's going to get a little colder. No more fairs. Just have it delivered right to your door.
Drinkwildbills.com.
Yeah.
Easy for me to say.
Blah, blah, blah.
Once. Check it out. Promo code BACON.
Hi, my name is Patty Negri. I am a psychic, medium, and good witch, and I am consuming Bacon is my podcast.
Well, James Gunn was saying that basically Peacemaker is Suicide Squad's sequel.
Right.
Yeah.
He said it's Suicide Squad 2. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So.
Which makes sense. And the cool thing about James Gunn is he's a decent director, but because of the cast that he gets in like with Guardians and stuff like that, they end up being such good movies because all the actors just have such great repertoire with each other. And I feel like that's what happened here too, where it just like even characters you wouldn't necessarily like, you're like, all right, they did really well and everything like that.
Yeah,
like
I feel like you can.
it comes together well.
I feel like you can really see the fun that they're having.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
like that totally comes through in it, which is awesome because you can definitely see in some movies when people are not having fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
it's kind of like
Definitely.
Yeah, I see. I think that James Gunn is able to have the dialogue that Kevin Smith wants to have with a big budget.
Yeah.
oh yeah, I can see that.
Because once Kevin Smith started getting a big budget, it was like, it's brutal,
Right.
Yeah.
brutal.
Yeah.
But
So all right, so Caleb, we got Flash with you. How about you, Josh? What's your in Fallout? What's Are you a comic book guy as well?
I am here or there. I don't read a whole lot because I have like just bad enough eyesight that whenever I read stuff on paper, it like gives me a headache after a while.
Right.
So I do more like
Videos.
consume media, like video games and stuff like that. I do play a lot of video games. I also do like a lot of. I'm on the computer a lot because I do like photo and video editing as well.
So your eyes are
just
destroyed.
kind of a mix of all those things. Oh no, it's for some reason it doesn't bother me. I guess it's just because like I have the blue light filters and stuff like that with my computer, so it really doesn't bother me with that. It's just whenever I'm actually like sitting on paper, it just like destroys my head. Like I just get a super headache after like 20 minutes. So I have like reading glasses and they kind of help, but I've tried like actually reading books and stuff, and it doesn't work for me anymore. Since I was like 21, I couldn't do it anymore.
So what games are you into right now? What are you playing? Are you computer? Are you console?
Yeah, PC gaming. I don't deal with those peasants on the console. No, I actually have a PlayStation 4 as well, so that I can play like the exclusives like God of War and Bloodborne, Spider-Man, that type of stuff. But I am primarily a PC gamer. I've been playing a lot of Hunt Showdown. That's definitely one of my like favorites. It's kind of a battle royale, but it's more like you're hunting a bounty type thing. And then there's other hunters also hunting the same bounty, and you can fight them as well. Set in like 1800s Louisiana, so you're like in the swamp.
Oh, nice.
And there's zombies roaming around.
I saw a review of that actually. Yeah, I have
definitely. Excellent game. If you're a PC gamer, I definitely recommend checking it out. It's one of my favorite games. And then a little bit of everything else. I played some Fallout 76. The Avengers game I've had some fun in, regardless of how badly reviewed it was. And a few things here and there. Like I play a little bit of everything. I enjoyed Cyberpunk. I thought it was a good game, but I don't understand the pain of the console players that were complaining about it because it ran fine on my computer. So I don't know what to tell y'all.
I think it's a lot of the consolers because I know that when you ship out a game before it's done, it's probably a bad move.
Yeah, and I mean on the same side, like I played on my PS4 Pro, I played God of War on a 4K TV, and it looked better than any game I've ever played before it. It's on a console, which doesn't run as well as my PC. So if you're just not optimizing your stuff properly, then it doesn't come out right. And that's really what it comes down to, is that they could have done a lot better with optimization in what they were doing, and just the bricks were bad for the building they were building. So it's possible, but they needed a lot more done before they released it. And I'm sure investors told them they had to get their shit together because it's been in development for like 11 years.
Yeah, well, I heard they changed it even like a couple years in. Their investors were like, it's going to be first-person shooter, and they'd been working the whole time on a third-person, like basically the Witcher style in that futuristic cyberpunk world, which I would have been freaked
awesome
out
too,
for
definitely.
Personally, but
it's funny. I don't know if you saw some people put out mods where you could like actually see it in third person.
Oh, really?
And it looked hilarious because like the models were not made right for that. So like your actual like head is in like your chest sort of. So whenever you do different motions and stuff like that, like your body would move, but your head wouldn't. And so you could actually see it a little bit when you were playing because your shadow would do like really weird shit. And so people would like notice that whenever they were playing, that their shadows just look really awkward.
Nice.
And whenever you got the mod that lets you play in third person, you could just see how terrible it was. So whatever they did with that and however they put the characters together did not turn out as intended, I guess. But aside from those issues, overall, I enjoyed the game. The voice acting and the characters in it were actually phenomenal. And really immersive, and I don't play a whole lot of single player games because I get bored really, really quickly, but it was more like an experience. It was like watching like a cinematic movie unfold while you were playing it.
So you're more of a co-op type of player?
More of a PvP,
Okay,
a little bit of co-op here and there, but yeah, kind of the whole like the PvP, like quick action type thing is what I go for most of the time.
Everything's better with friends.
Exactly.
See, I'm the opposite. I don't want to play video games with anybody. I'm like, nope, this is my escape. I want a story. I want to follow it. I want to get in. I want to explore everywhere. I want to take, 6 hours to check out a bush way over here that no one can find. Like, I want to do all that stuff, and the last thing I want is like to have anybody in my ear telling me I have to go do something. I'm like, man, I play games so that I don't hear this.
Every once in a while, I'm the same way, but I'm also like, I don't go out a whole lot, so video games is also my form of socialization sometimes.
Gotcha,
so it's nice to be able to like get in and be competitive about stuff too. Like that's the other aspect of it for me, is like being able to, you know, do all the stuff where you're like, oh, look, I can go out and, you know, find all this cool stuff, but then you want to show someone the cool stuff other than just uploading a video. So it's nice to like have the other, you know, option on there to be able to like go out and fight someone with all the cool stuff you got together. That type of
Are you guys, either of you, on Twitch or anything? Do you guys do that?
I don't stream, but I follow a bunch of my friends that do stream, and I'm usually on their streams, but like I don't stream myself.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I used to do some YouTube videos and stuff back when there was a game called Atlas that was popular for a while, survival game. I used to be pretty big into that whenever I was doing videos and stuff, because we were one of the more notable companies in the game, and it was interesting because it was like there was a whole politics system going on within the game, because it was a big sandbox game and everything. So you had like a lot of people arguing on Reddit and stuff like that about the current wars and stuff that were going on. It was more interesting just because it was all just real players, you know, doing real stuff in a pirate game.
Right.
And it just got really heated sometimes, so it was hilarious just to like watch it all unfold and everything like that. It was like watching world politics, but in a video game.
It feels like that sometimes anyway.
I actually I haven't watched Twitch or played computer games in a long time, but one of my favorite forms of entertainment is watching my wife play Super Mario World.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
And I swear that I am going to start a Twitch of that.
Yeah, we're both recent.
Hilarious.
We're both recent Raspberry Pi owners. So getting all the retro gaming going and stuff, which has been
it gets really intense. It gets really intense,
Oh,
and I'm sure she'd be really embarrassed by some of her actions, but man, it's entertaining as hell.
Yeah. I recently started letting my daughter play the Spider-Man games on my my PS4, and she's 5, so she's still getting used to everything. But it's good, like hand-eye coordination practice and everything like that. This is definitely entertaining watching her like try to get around the map and do the swinging and try to like hit all the right buttons with her tiny little hands that are like a quarter of the size of mine. And I actually I just got back from Michigan last weekend, and while I was up there, there was a guy up there that had a bunch of the Raspberry Pi boards and everything for retro gaming, and then he actually brought to our Airbnb, where me and a bunch of the guys were staying, a Switch and like 8 controllers for Super Smash Bros.
Oh, nice!
So we spent a good amount of time on that, and the night ended by us all being pretty drunk, and him wanting to 1v1 me a bunch because it came down to like me and him every match, and so he wanted to be like the victor. So he's like, best out of 5, let's go. And we went, and I ended up just winning by a hair. Like I swear I just got lucky.
Best of 7.
Like the next day at the wedding, he was like, dude, do you guys want to like come over tonight instead of going to the Airbnb and we can like do a rematch on that? I was like, it's okay, just let it go. I won. It's fine. It's, you know, whatever. Just accept that you were just, you know, not quite there.
Yeah, the Switch is pretty great.
It's not that you're bad, it's that I'm really good.
My son got it, the same thing with Mario Kart.
Yeah,
just 4-person family battle royale going on.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, my girlfriend destroys me in Mario Kart because I never was into Mario Kart.
Oh,
because again, I don't typically like to play games with other people.
Right.
And so like we'll play with her, and she just laughs her ass off while I'm driving off the.
You hit the banana peel.
She's lapping me, and I'm just like, yeah, okay.
On your left.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's
This is the best.
Yeah. You guys are talking about the retro games and the Switch. Are y'all ready for that Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge coming out? They're
yes.
bringing
man.
Yes.
Ninja Turtles game.
Yes.
Love it.
Stoked on that.
Ninja Turtles was my go-to in arcades.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like that was always as soon as I saw that they had that, I'm like, ah! And immediately Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
so I'm super excited about that.
Ninja Turtles and the X-Men side scroll.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
That was we had some fun with that in the past.
Yeah.
I got kicked. We got kicked out of my apartment at one point. Yes, because we were really wasted, and
I get loud.
And Cyclops' special move was, ah!
Yeah.
It was pretty great.
So I had to do it every time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Then the neighbors started banging on the ceiling, going, "Shut up!" So
Yeah.
my wife kicked us out.
Apartment.
Yeah, I used to live in an apartment and also play League of Legends, so my neighbors definitely hated me then too. So.
Yeah,
Because I feel like that's one of those games that just makes you, verbal.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Exactly.
Makes you angry.
yeah. That and, I've got the pipes for it, so I can just sit there and like scream at the top of my lungs, and it doesn't
Right.
matter. So it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's fucking go!
Yeah, that's a benefit of being a screamer.
Yeah, I'm not one, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Me either.
That's when you're like, let's fucking go.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah. He does the Christina Aguilera.
Right.
Like, go.
You don't sound very intimidating when you're like, come on, come on, come on.
Come on.
I haven't,
Yeah.
with the kids, I've never brought out the screamer.
Oh yeah.
Like I've never had to.
Like giving them the full experience, then, bro.
Yeah, man. What's up?
I never
Let's show
did
them what
it.
Big Boy Land is like.
Oh no! Me and my daughter would have like scream offs at each other from the other side of the room. Like she'd scream back at me, but like intentionally, just kind of like trying to mock what I was doing. And so she'd be like, "Let's go!" And it was hilarious because she'd be doing it like she's getting into it. I'm like, "You have a future here. It's fine."
His daughter
start you in
too.
the band.
His daughter's got quite the scream on her.
Yeah. So we got my kids into heavier music and stuff, and they're into like Silverstein and Beartooth and that kind of stuff. And so they sang a part of Burn It Down, Caleb Shomo's part in it, and yeah, they're pretty good at it. They're trying to learn a little bit. They got a little bit of growing up to do before they really get the nice guttural sound, but
it always
we're
takes you back to
working
that video of those two kids doing King for a Day that are like 8 years old or whatever, that were just super into it, but we're like way too young to have the voice
I
for
remember
it.
that. Yeah.
It's all about the unholy cover.
That's right. Yes, sir.
I'll try.
Oh yeah, dude! Good old YouTube days when we can make fun of people.
Right.
That's actually
Those
my
early
favorite
days.
part. That's my favorite part of being a musician is comment surfing our videos, because
Oh yeah.
especially
yeah.
back in the day for us, like we had a lot of popularity, and a lot of it was like like we had some metal heavy vibes, but then you would just go to the comments and they're like, "Yeah, I was having a really good time until bitch face below the third came in singing like a Backstreet Boy," and like they would just come in and trash me, and that was my favorite part. Like it was so much fun to read people's hate.
Catchy as fuck. You guys are catchy as fuck,
Absolutely.
and I love that about a song. And like the hooks come in, and it's like, come on, what's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with brutal and catchy.
Yes.
I think a lot of people are just elitists about their metal still. Like they haven't grown out of that phase where they're like everything has to be heavy all the time. It's like people who hate on Nickelback. Like if you can look me in the face and honestly say that Nickelback doesn't have bangers, then you're just lying.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. It's nice to hate on those things instead of enjoying it. And I mean, not everybody likes every style of music, and that's totally fine. Like I'm not a big fan of Taylor Swift, but I can appreciate what she does.
Right. There's a big difference between being like, it's not my thing, and being like, it sucks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, it doesn't. Like,
my current roommate is like the biggest hater, and it's just off of like when he hears something, he'll immediately like in the first 3 seconds be like trash. And he's like, sorry, I got good taste, and I'm like, bro, come on, dude, like, you're not even giving it a chance. You're not it's not all about one thing. There's multiple aspects that make the song great. If you're humming it, if it's catchy, that's a good song.
if it sticks in your head, even if a part you don't like sticks in your head, it's good because it's stuck in your head. Like that was the purpose.
Exactly.
That's what it's for.
Like as much as you can hate on it, like fucking Kid Leroy out there. Like the first time I heard some of his stuff, I was like, oh man, they're like, this sucks. And then like after a while, I'm sitting there like, I'll be
I know this is probably like the third time that I've brought this up, but that new there's a line that because I never really liked Trippie Redd that much. Like he had a couple good songs, but there's one song on the new one called "Holy Smokes," and it's such a fun listen. And there's one line that sticks with me. He's like, all this cash on me, but I can't buy love. And I was like, hey, that's freaking sick. Like, it's so much, it's such a good, it's a bop.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's what it's for. That's why we do this.
Yeah.
That's why we listen.
Yeah.
For sure.
Exactly.
Now, where, pray tell, can people listen to you guys, Weather Eye?
Yeah, we've talked about all this other music. Where can people find your
the important stuff?
All music
Yeah,
platforms, basically.
Exactly. If you just look for Weather Eye, there'll probably be a lot of other autofills like whether I do this or whether I like Drake or not. But if you just look up for Weather Eye, you'll find it on most platforms, or just like YouTube / Weather Eye, that type of thing. Or I think that's the URL for that. So yeah, just search Weather Eye on any music platform. It should come up. The first thing you'll probably see is the song with Johnny Craig, because that's the one everybody likes for some reason. And then there's the rest of our songs that are actually good. And
That's important, though.
that song's important. But funny story about that song: everybody always used to come up to us like after shows and stuff. They'd be like, they'd hear that song, and it's just a super emotional song and everything like that, and they would think it was like about our parents or something, and they'd be like, "I'm so sorry about your dad. I'm sorry it was like that to you." We'd be like, "I love my dad. He was fine." Like, I don't know what you're talking about. This is actually about something entirely different. It was just like the way it came out. Like it was still a personal song, but it wasn't like directly about us as people. And so it's just funny how people misinterpret.
I got the idea, started writing it because my nephew, he's never gonna know his dad, like his real dad.
Yeah.
So like that was the whole point of writing the song, was for him. And he loves that song. He's like 7 years old now, and he's jamming it. I wrote it when he was like 2.
Wow.
But yeah, he loves it. It's fun. My sister sends me videos of her kids. Like, they always sing along. One of them screams with Josh. The other one sings with me.
Nice. So your replacements are ready.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And that's like, yeah.
That's got to be a good feeling, though. You know, you write for what you wrote the song for, and then he's there jamming to it later. You know, that's got to be a nice. It's a nice little validation,
full circle kind of thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
I just want him to know, like, even though he doesn't know him, he's got me, my dad, my other 2 brothers. There's my family. Like, there's always somebody there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a beautiful thing, man. It's very cool.
All right, guys. Well, Caleb's gonna fall asleep on screen, and I've been hoping he does. I've been watching. I've just been waiting for that nod.
We've been texting bets to each other this whole time.
I've gotta go to work in like less than an hour, so I'm just dreading it.
So yeah, we will let you guys go. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, though. Thanks for chatting about music with us. Thanks for chatting about video games and comics and movies and everything like that with us too. We had a good time. Hopefully, you guys had a good time. It wasn't too terrible.
No, it's fantastic.
All right, good.
I do have to say, has anybody ever told you that you kind of look like Onyx the Fortuitous? Like,
No.
you know who I'm talking about? Look up Onyx the Fortuitous.
I will
on like YouTube and stuff like that. His first performance was the Weird Arby's guy, and he was in like this newscast report or whatever. But he has kind of the same like hair and beard as you, and then wears the same kind of hat.
That's great.
Sort of, but it's actually a character. He's not actually like a really weird dude. He just puts on this performance.
Mike just brought him up.
Hilarious.
All right,
and that's hilarious. That's amazing.
Yeah. When you were doing the ad for Pod Decks, that's what you reminded me of a little bit. The way you were talking.
Excellent. It's my game show voice.
Here we go. We're gonna share the screen here.
We're bringing it in, I guess. We're bringing it in. So this is me.
There he is. There he is.
Yeah,
I mean, it's similar.
The pose.
Oh yeah, that's
that one right there. There you go.
That's perfect. I agree with you, Josh.
That's awesome.
I do too. That's great.
You can't go up from here.
I can't argue that.
No.
All right,
guys, thank you so much for hanging out.
Dude,
Everybody check out Weather Eye.
Yeah, please do.
Their new single is out now.
Yeah.
At this point.
Right now it's out. You can go listen to it immediately right now.
Yes.
Immediately.
And always remember,
Yeah. Ask yourself
one question
every day.
What? Go ahead.
Is your
Go ahead.
bacon?
Ah!
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was gonna
What's
try
your
to do it
bacon?
all- I want to do it all at the same time, but you were like, "What?
What's your bacon?
I can't follow that timing." I was just
I
gonna
had
say,
I had the William Shatner going on. That,
"Oh,
You something like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
something like we could call it that.
He's like, what? Is your bacon?
What is my podcast? Very good.
All right, guys.
So, thank you so much, guys. Thanks for hanging out. We do appreciate it. Anytime that you want to come back on, anytime you want to jump in and say hi, anytime you got something to promote or you got something new coming out, feel free to let us know. Jump on and
Doors always
and
open.
let everybody know. Doors open always. And thanks for hanging, guys. And thank you, everybody that is watching. And thanks, everybody, for listening. If you're on Apple, give us that 5-star review and share it. Share it. Tell your friends.
Thanks for having us. It was a great
Thanks,
time, guys.
Thank you guys so much once again for being here, and thank you for checking out the show, and thank you. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you're enjoying it every week. Hopefully you enjoy everything that we're doing. We thank you. We appreciate you, and you are awesome.
Yes.
Mike, where can they find you if they want to get in touch with you?
Me, I am at Me My Own Self Mike on all social media platforms. My band is called Something Heavy at Something Heavy Music on all the social media platforms. Also available on Spotify, the Apple, the Amazon, all of those fun things. Jimmy, what about yourself?
You guys can find me at Jimmy G Shoes over on Twitter and Instagram. Jimmy G on Facebook. My band Craving Strange is on everything at Craving Strange or at Craving Strange Music. Either one of those things is going to bring you to wherever we are. You can find Bacon Is My Passion Music also on Spotify and Apple Music. And Bacon Is My Podcast is available on Spotify, Apple Music. If you're listening on or Apple Podcasts, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please give us that 5-star review. It helps us. It really, really, really helps us. It's a super easy thing for you to do, and it actually helps so much. If you want to write something, awesome, write something. If you don't, just that 5-star review really kills it for us. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. We appreciate it. Come back next week. Come hang out with us.
We got a fun guest.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Probably.
And again, go to baconismypodcast.com. We have brand new shirts. The Grammar is My Passion series is available now. That was only a Patreon exclusive for a while, but now it's available for everybody.
Including you.
Everybody can get them. Grammar is My Passion. Check them out. There's 2 shirts. They're funny. They're good. They're fun. And they help the show. So thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for watching. And don't forget to ask yourself,
what's your bacon?